give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight, it's the RGR Racing League and the ACS HEHUT 120. Of course, ACS is your affordable construction specialist, and the HEHUT machine sponsoring it here tonight. Go check out Scooter's HEHUT over on Facebook. You know, got a lot of model makes and whatnot over there. They do some great work in there. Make sure you check that out, the HEHUT on Facebook. So we are at New Hampshire tonight. Going to be a super entertaining race here and a tough, slick service. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Baron Labosco. Baron, down here at New Hampshire.
Dean, this is a great little racetrack, man. I grew up about 2 hours from here in the middle of the state of New Hampshire, being on the southern half. And great little racetrack, flat track, driver's track. We're going to see guys who can handle the steering wheel actually make their way forward tonight, Dean. We always talk about tire management, but at this track, you really got to take care of that right tire because it's going to make that left tire or that right rear really loose if you don't.
Well, and that's in the traditional sense. Plus, since the new update, we're burning up the rears more than the fronts now, so this could potentially be really loose race car, Baron.
Yeah, it sure could. And Dean, I always like loose is fast. I still believe in that. And I love to drive my race cars loose. But some guys don't, Dean, and that's going to be a problem for some of these competitors tonight. Really good field tonight, a smaller field, but a really dense one, if you know what I mean. Any one of these drivers can absolutely win this race this evening.
It looks like we've flipped one of our logos here. I might have to pull that one off of there. Not sure how we reversed that one, folks. Anyway, out here on New Hampshire, absolutely love it. It's going to be a battle out here to see, like we already talked about, who can keep the tires under them, but also passing, Baron. When you got a loose, slick race car in this track, very difficult. I mean, I almost think maybe you got to go high instead of low to make a pass.
You're going to see a lot of guys catch each other, but getting around each other is going to be the problem. The guy on the high line typically has a lot of momentum coming out of these turns, and the guy on the low line typically has a lot of, entry speed, center corner speed, but that get-off speed, man, that's a problem for a lot of these guys. We'll see, Dean. A lot of side-by-side racing to be had tonight. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it really will. I can't wait to get it going. But right now, let's all rise up out of our seats for the singing of the national anthem by the beautiful Alicia Shipman.
Oh, say, can you sleep by the dawn's early light? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
everybody
awesome
getting
stuff.
lined up and ready to go. Alicia Shipman brought us there. I feel a little bit braver right now, Baron.
Yeah, well, she's got a beautiful voice, Dean, and I just love it at a racetrack to hear that. It just, it's just an amazing event every time you can hear the engines fire up. To me, that's a signal that business is about to pick up here tonight, Dean. I'm real excited.
Yeah, Alicia Shipman, good friend of ours, Stephen Loomis, unfortunately passed away this year. So a little shout out to his friends and family. And we bring up tonight's starting grid. On the point, it's going to be the Bulldog, number 2, Adam Newton, with a time of 30.789. You got Bernard Person starting on the outside of row number 1. It's Jackson and Ratliff in row 2. Row 3, Otto Vianney and Abear. Row 4, Maurer and Williams. Bruce and Hund will be 9th and 10th. Musial and Spear will take us back to 12th. A little further back, you got Olson, Whiting, Ledford, Lester, and Dibble.
Really hard racetrack tonight. Guys are going to have their hands full. We're going to see fast ends as we get the green flag.
Quick green, we're down and away, and we're here racing at New Hampshire. Dead heat down into one, a couple of teammates side by side.
Love it. Side-by-side racing had all through the field, Dean. These guys are just sorting out what they can get done.
Yeah, I mean, pressure there. Bernard Person almost 3 wide. They're trying to go high and low around him. As he takes it easy, Newton does not. Newton heads out to an early lead.
You can absolutely do 3 wide at this track, Dean. There's plenty of room. Can your truck stick?
Yeah, that's the big thing. Lots of room, but that room shortens when the rear end comes out. You know about those rear ends poking out at you, Bern.
I love me a loose rear end, Dean.
Okay. So look at here, 3 wide, almost like a 4 wide, even though they weren't directly side by side. It's just the lines they take, a lot of different lines here.
Definitely a lot of lines, definitely a lot of strategies at play here. Some guys won't get off the top. They'll sacrifice a position or two just to make sure they're taking care of their stuff. Some of them love that low line, trying to get forward as quick as they can. We got fast time by Bernard Person right now, who was almost 3 wide. He's second place.
Yeah, Bernie started off a little slow on lap 1, but he's moving already. We're back with Olson here in some heavy traffic, and you can see the loose off, especially trying to stay low.
And it's hard. As we get closer to that yellow line you see at the bottom of the racetrack, the apron almost feels like it unloads the car to the right, Dean, and that's troublesome for some drivers. You talk about loose, it gets twice as bad when you're down there.
Yeah, very, very tough down here. There's no doubt about that. See Maurer and Bruce just ahead of them here. They're battling. Looks like Maurer is going to make a move now on Hund. Bruce puts it down the middle.
3
wide. Here we go. And he backs out of it a little bit there, but a big run going to bring him, inches to make these decisions here.
Yeah, you hate to have that run. You can't do anything with it, and then you got to wait, set them up again. It's frustrating. This track can be very frustrating.
It really can. I mean, you talk about like an Iowa or a Richmond. It's like, I'm at the back. Olson in big trouble. Car's flipping. The Lester has gone airborne, and now he's on the deck lid. Oh, baby.
Check on Fred Lester. He's still driving. No, he's good.
He's fine, just a little shaken up.
Yep.
Wow. So Olson here early in his race to He-Hut. 120. Olson will be done. Lester, he's going to need a lot of duct tape here. Let's get a replay on this.
Well, the Olympic trials just happened, so let's see what kind of a half gainer he does.
I mean, my goodness. Well, we might have to back her up just a bit here.
Looks like we had a D-Dino here.
Yeah, well, we had Olson getting a little loose. We'll go a little further back. It looked like a weird angle on that machine. He's almost breaking loose right there. Yeah, there it is. Correction. Spear tries to get on the high side. Contact. Spear gets through, and Lester just, wow! I mean, that is some tumbling car there. I think
Give
I
the
see
assist back
Mutant.
to Olsen to get him back on his feet.
I see Mutant on the trunk there. He might have just transformed into a mutant. Pit stops happening. Newton's on pit road along with A-Bear, Bruce, Spear, and others.
Lots of pits early here, only lap number 5. So guys not happy with their machines, Dean.
Well, that's a gas and go for Newton, so that's very interesting here. A little fuel mileage strategy from Adam Newton, who was leading the race. So he must know something we don't know. And that's not that hard to do, is it?
Doesn't raise the bar real high for him anyways. You know?
It doesn't.
Yeah, I wonder, gas and go here, sacrificing that track position at a place like New Hampshire, that's pretty critical. We'll see how this plays out for him, but I know these races tend to get strung out.
So first thoughts is it's a big mistake because of what you said track position wise. But if you take a thought at it, we've got a smaller field here tonight, a little summertime field, if you will, guys on vacation and whatnot during the summer. And on top of that, this is a very green flag racing league. So maybe Newton's taking the gamble. We're going to go green, and that fuel is going to be very valuable.
Well, it could be. You're absolutely right. But he's gained about 5 green flag laps.
Well, we'll see, folks. Right now, I think Person likes his spot, and don't look now. Mr. Greg Ratliff on the outside. Greg been so tough to beat.
I tell you, I like seeing Jason Jackson up here. Jason normally not qualifying well, but he's got himself here in the 3rd position. Good start for the 87 machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason, he seems to be hit and miss with some tracks, Baron, and this could be a hit for him. Here we go. Bernie leads him down, and it's a quick launch from the 8 machine. Jackson looking underneath Ratliff.
So once again, side by side, here's a couple of competitors know each other really well. Claus and Nate Maurer battling right now.
Yeah, a few battles up and down the track here. Ratliff with that high line holds off. Jackson, Otto Viani takes to the high side here, looking to sling around him. So tough. You can almost feel how hard they're working this wheel.
It is, it's an effort. Because if you're taking care of your fellow competitors, you're also managing your tires, and it's just a very fine line.
So I want to go back and see what happened to Spear here. Something happened to him on this restart. And it looks like maybe Lester was involved, or he just got a slow start, perhaps.
Yeah, it looks like he's just a little. Because remember, he was involved in that incident
right in front of him, and he tries to avoid it, and he breaks loose. They do little pirouettes, each one of them.
Well, that's not good. That's a tough race right now for Jason.
Yeah, he's not going to be too happy so far tonight, for sure.
Green flag condition. Yeah, he's 16 seconds behind Ledford.
Right now, Person leading. Ratliff way up the high side of the track. This is interesting. This is something that is not traditional here. You try and stay off that tar surface on the high side, Baron. At least I do. It seems like Ratliff trying to get into it, at least in 3 and 4.
Yeah, depends on where the momentum is in the truck and if it'll hold that high line. Generally, people don't get up here because that's where the marbles are. But bold decision here by the driver of that 5 machine.
Maybe it was just a mistake. We're not seeing it now. As soon as I mention it, of course, Baron, it goes away.
Yeah, maybe.
I wish that would happen for everything in my life.
Right, me too.
I mean, I called my
couple of exes I'd like to.
She never left.
You beat me to it again, Dean. A couple of my exes I'd rather not have had it.
A little further back, there's Newton along with Bruce on the low side. They're working around Nate Maurer right now. So Newton's still coming forward here, and we'll see how this fuel stop pays off for him. Oh, Bruce right there. Getting really a good close turn on that machine.
Yep. Tough track, Dean. These guys are starting to get sorted out here. We got them straight line now for the most part.
Yeah, I like the way Bruce is rolling that bottom right now. You know, he does not like this place, Baron, or maybe it doesn't like him, but the way he's rolling that bottom, I think it bodes well for him.
Well, he's got a good run, and he seems to have found a line that works with his truck. He's climbed up to the back bumper of the two. So let's see what kind of passes can be made.
He's thinking of undoing those buttons, aren't you, Baron?
It depends on how big they are.
How stretched
Buttons,
out
of
they are.
course. Talk about buttons still.
There's Eric Whiting here in the 13, and we've seen some good races. We've seen some bad races. Maybe tonight the 13 will go to the front. I mean, we were talking not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, he was our new man. I mean, he was up front week after week, Baron.
And
and he's
now
pulling
pulls
off.
over. Yeah.
He's just going straight to the back. He didn't want nothing to do with any of it.
Interesting.
Isn't it, though? So interesting strategy decision by the 13 here. He says, I don't think I want to race around anybody right now.
Maybe he had a hardware issue at home we didn't see. The cat jumped on the keyboard or something. I don't know.
Boy, oh boy, am I glad you added where to that. Hardware.
Need to find you a girlfriend to come over and handle things for you.
Getting a little lonely, Baron.
Or you could have one trick in it already, buddy. Like, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but you need some.
Looking at Claus Williams. Haven't really talked too much about him, but here he is trying to hold off Newton and Bruce here. Williams up 3 spots into 5th position.
Let's see if Newton can come forward after sacrificing the track's position. Oh, he's got Darren Bruce all over him now. It's going to be a tough challenge.
Let's hop on board with Darren Bruce here and just see what we can find out. I mean, Bruce is rolling more. You know, I don't know if I've ever seen him roll a corner quite like this. The way he's getting around the bottom just seems a little bit better to me than anybody. Again, though, passing, very difficult here.
It is. Catching him one thing, passing's another.
You just see how he's driving right up on him, and he's not losing the center of the corner still, Baron.
Yeah, and that's the difference between somebody who practiced and, someone who's just out here for the first time. That is pure, unadulterated practice reps right there.
Yeah, I mean, even coming down to that apron where it's almost reverse angle, you see Newton getting by Williams. Bruce going to capitalize. He's almost thinking, hey, I may take both these guys. You see there.
Well, you see it at this track, where you clear a guy by giving him a little bump in the straightaway, gets him past that guy, you can make 2 for there.
So Newton doing a whale of a job. Bruce following right along. We'll see if they can make progress from here now that they got a little clear track. Up front, still Person, lap 21 of 120, the 8 machine. Now getting reeled in here by guess who? Greg Ratliff.
Not shocked by this, are we?
You're never shocked by Greg. Greg, very solid. He's just not going to make mistakes, and that's how he inches up on you, Baron. You make a mistake here, it's 1/10 of a second. 5 laps later, you've been solid. You make one little bobble, 10 seconds. Guess what? He never made those 2 mistakes. He just gained 2/10 on you.
Yeah, and he does it in a way that doesn't put anybody else in danger. It's great racecraft. Not as many wins as he would like this season, but solid top 3 finishes week in and week out.
Absolutely. So these 2 leading. Jason Jackson settled into 3rd now. I love what I'm seeing from the 87. He looks solid. Otto Viani, the ever-improving, ever-practicing 77 machine, continues to get better and better, and we're consistently seeing him in the top 5 now.
Yeah, solid run. We talked to him last week. He talked about all the practice he's putting in, talking about all the help the guys in this league have given him to get faster, and it's showing up, Dean.
Yeah, it's showing up. It always does, right? I mean, I don't know Michael that well, so I don't want to overblow it, but, when I talk to guys like this who put in the time, I always tell them, Baron, it's just a matter of time, and you'll be better than all of us because you put in the time.
Yeah, good solid run here, 4th place, and it looks like running solid lap times. So good luck for here for Michael. I'd love to see him with another top 5.
Absolutely, and he's got that wind tunnel logo on the deck lid there, or on the back. That's always nice. That always helps you get a little airtime, doesn't it?
Step in the right direction, that's for sure.
That it is. Newton also rocking that wind tunnel TV logo on that Petamax design, the Bass Pro Shops. The Bulldog, with his early pit stop, has gotten back up to 5th. Baron, he's still moving up quick, isn't he? No extra tires.
Yeah, doing all right with it. Once again, showed how much we know about what's going on out there. He's having a good run.
Yeah, he is, but I mean, he was the leader. Up front is now Person. So Person continuing to lead, Ratliff continuing to dog him. And so far, I haven't seen either one of these cars really wiggling around.
I think they're a bit on cruise control here, Dean. What do you think?
Well, I think so, and I think that's the key of getting out to a lead, right? Is you don't have to push that machine, and often being a little bit smoother and slower, seemingly, is actually faster.
And they've got a nice little gap back to 3rd and 4th. So no sense right now, lap 26 of 120. No sense right now just over pushing the issue. The first run's always the most challenging. Let's go racing in the second run.
Well, speaking of not over pushing, Maurer notorious for not over pushing. As he gets a little loose there, he's falling back. He's down 3 spots, but it looks like he's starting to move forward again. I mean, that's no surprise either, is it?
Not out of this driver. How he got back there, I don't know, unless the car's just cooked. But he's having a good run.
We've seen Newton and Bruce go by him, right? So, I don't think he was putting all he had down on the track.
Bear doesn't seem to be too awful concerned he's back there.
Dibble right in this mix. And how about Jacob Musial back on the track? The 38 makes his return here, currently in 12th position, and he's a little bit on cruise control here, getting his feet wet back out here. Comes back for a tough track, Baron.
Good tough track. I like this track, Dean, but it is hard.
Bruce and Otto Viani going at it right now. So Bruce continuing to paint that yellow line. I love it. It's so hard to do here, but if you can make it work, you're probably going to save a little tire, save a little fuel if that matters to you, and you might just be faster and faster as the run goes along, and you see that he is as he gets by Otto Viani.
I'll put it where they ain't, Dean, and it looks like everybody's opted for the top side, so Darren said, well, shit, I'll just put it down here.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's a unique line. Traditionally, I want to be in the middle of the track, kind of like that line, middle to high to back to low out. And that's a little traditional, but it's also make that car loose, something these guys are fighting pretty hard to not have here tonight. You see, Bernard Person is kind of opening up another car or 2 lengths here. Nothing too crazy. Greg's still hanging in there, but the battle remains.
Looks like 3rd and 4th are catching him, too.
Yeah, well, it looks like, that's right, 4th and 5th in particular. That Newton, and he's got Bruce, is just following Newton around here. He says, I might not like this track, but I know a guy who's pretty good at it. Why don't I just follow him around here?
Yeah, James Hebert trying hard to stay in the top 10.
Yeah, Hebert, and he's got Maurer on the outside of him now. Maurer tried the low side. That didn't work. So how about I get up on the high side of you? Oof. Almost contact there.
Yeah, a pinch. Didn't work. Here comes Hebert again.
Well, in this track, it's always hard. Excuse me. It's always hard to determine who's pinching and who's floating up the track, Baron, because the low line isn't the low line here, really. The low line's kind of second lane, isn't it?
True. And we discussed it earlier in the broadcast that low line can be treacherous. It almost feels like the car's being unweighted. So good on him for recovery and holding off the challenges. But, adjusting that line on the fly, it's real hard to do.
Newton continues his march as he goes by Jason Jackson. So put Newton Up to third now, so this is interesting. He's got third. He's got 5 extra laps of fuel. We'll see if that pays off at some point. Jackson remains in front of Bruce here, and I think Bruce is probably going to have a little harder time than Adam getting around Jason Jackson. Maybe not, though.
Darren Bruce driving, off of that right rear a little bit too. You can see that car steps out a little bit as he exits the turn fast. Let's see how long it holds on though.
Yeah, well, there he goes. He's making his move, and I'm discounting Darren Bruce. I think that's always a mistake, isn't it, Baron?
Yeah, you made a mistake underperforming with Darren Bruce.
Yeah, that's never the best assessment. I mean, this
underestimated.
There you go. It takes us a while, folks, when we're not drinking.
I'm not. Yeah, I haven't had a drop.
Man, someone, please send some alcohol up to Baron's hotel room.
Yeah. Shit. Do me a favor.
You can almost hear the desperation in his voice, folks.
You got no idea, man. We just see me Saturday night.
Wow. Look at that run from the 5. Wow. What a corner there. He closed up about 2 car lengths right there.
Yeah, I think it might be coming to him, although he lost some ground in the backstretch there.
A little bit, yeah. But that was a great entrance he had. And you see it again. He is driving in a lot harder. And now what will that do to the car, Baron? I mean, the guy's trying to balance out wear or something here?
We need we need an intervention for that right front.
Right, but I mean, if you're losing the rear of the car, it can almost help to kind of burn out the right front a bit, can it?
That's a good question, Dean. I never had any luck with it, but that right front right now is taking a beating.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you can see it on exit. He is getting tight on exit there. It's probably got a push-loose condition, which means, you'll push until that car snaps around on you. And you see there a little wiggle off the corner from the 5.
Yeah, and that often causes a little lift in the throttle to get the rear tires back underneath you, but you lose time.
And meanwhile, Bernie just seems rock solid. I mean, we talked to him a little bit pre-race here, and he did mention something that I say a lot is, like, if you're in a track where the truck is going to get loose, it's loose, it's going to get worse. The one thing you can't do is get loose, Baron. Not once.
Right. That's true. You get it at Martinsville sometimes. You definitely get it here. We've seen it happen in places like Miami where there's a little more banking, but
like if you start shaking out that rear end a little bit, Baron, I mean, it's just going to exasperate itself, isn't it?
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure. You can't overcook these things and expect it to be super fast anymore unless you got real fast hands.
Yeah, and we've seen some fast hands, haven't we?
Sure have. Let's take a look at, some of those guys we saw in the open, the modified tour. Those guys.
Oh, the one gentleman in that modified, man, I don't know if it was Connor or something like that, but man, his hands were lightning fast.
Yeah, handling a loose car, and because of it, super fast car too.
We got a pit here. It's Otto Viani, so he come in prepared. Lap 40. This is a definite scheduled 2-stop strategy for Michael Otto Viani. We're going to see how this plays out. I love it. Let's get in here, get in early or on schedule, right? Versus, if you're going to do a 2-stopper, Baron, the thing I hate is when people go 50-50 and then 20. Let's go 40-40-40. Can we?
Yeah, well, that's what he's done. And I like the strategy. I don't think it's going to work for him, but I like the strategy.
Oh, I think it's going to work great for him. I love it. I mean, this car, these times, we are off the best. We are about a 1.5 seconds. You might be right. Usually need about a 2-second gap to make that strategy work. I mean, versus a 1-stopper, but I'm not sure this is a 1-stop track, except for maybe Adam Newton, who's caught. Greg Ratliff now looking for second.
I mean, they've only got to go 19 more miles here to enter that halfway pitch strategy. I got a feeling most of these guys can do it, Dean.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on Otto Viani and just how fast he gets around here. Ooh, Newton pushing hard to get by, and he does. So put the 2 back up to second. Boy, oh boy, the Bulldog has come to play tonight.
Yeah, he sure has. Sacrificing those precious spots on the track for a little extra fuel. Yeah, he's got one more car to pass here, Dean.
He's got one more, and that's Bernard Persson up here, who's led basically wire to wire since Newton's pit stop on lap 5. So the 8 machine doing a heck of a job, but Newton looks like he is, well, they're matching times, him and Bernier, but Newton was also passing someone at the time.
Yeah, I think Newton's put another car length between he and the 5, so bring him up to the back bumper of Bernie. We still got 15 laps before pit stops. He'll have time.
Yeah, the 5 has fallen off, and it was right about the time he started talking about that right front, Baron. I think he might have cooked that thing up pretty good.
Yeah, there needed to be an intervention for that right front tire. I mean, 55 saves lives,
Klaus Williams, he's done a heck of a job. Right in front of him, Darren Bruce up 5 spots. Klaus up 3. And they got Jason Jackson. He's lost 3 now, but he's hanging around here. And then Hund, he's up 3. Big mover on the night, though, right behind Maurer. Mr. George Dibble up 8 spots on the evening.
And with arguably the best French fries on the track.
Oh, yeah, no question, the best fries on the track. I mean, I just want to think about McDonald's for a couple minutes, if you don't mind here, Baron.
Well, let's do it, Dean.
I mean, I got nothing to say. I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's going to be my breakfast tomorrow now that we've mentioned it. So let's get going. Let's get it done.
You know, I haven't had a good quarter pounder from McDonald's in probably 10 years, 15 years.
That's a shame, Dean.
Well, it is. I mean, my colon thanks me, but, my heart wants some.
Yeah, I think I had a quarter pounder in like March.
There you go.
But I love their breakfast burritos. I think those are delicious.
Not sure breakfast and burrito should ever be said in the same sentence. Right?
Oh, Dean, it's got egg and cheese, and it's got a little bit of jalapeno in there, and a little bit of sausage.
Oh my!
In a
You
tortilla.
gonna come to work with jalapeno in your system?
Hell yeah!
Firing
Get on a
on all
plane tomorrow too.
cylinders.
Get on a plane tomorrow and start ripping them.
You gonna put beans in there too?
Nope, no beans. Just egg and cheese and delicious little bits of jalapeno.
Can you
and
really call that a burrito?
sausage. Yes, it's a breakfast
Don't you need
burrito.
beans to have a burrito?
Why are you raining on my breakfast right now?
Okay, I don't know. But here we go. Battle for the lead. The Bulldog. Down to the inside. I don't think Bernie... Well, I'm wrong. I was going to say I don't think he'll put up much of a fight, but he's gonna. So he's going to hold him down there. I like this. There's some fight in that Mama June's machine.
Well, and it's high line versus low line. Adams caught him. Now can he pass him?
Yeah, and I mean, it's smart to kind of fight him here and see if you can't wear him out. I mean, we're racing to win races, right? But Newton,
Clear.
too strong, back out front. Even with the pit stop that put him back around 13th position, he's come all the way back up to the front.
Yeah, so clear driver, and then on to lap 50. So we're 10 laps away from scheduled stops here. Dean, we know the 2 can make it. Can the rest of the field?
Well, I know one guy, Otto Viani, we look in on here. He can make it because he's already had a pit stop. But you see, that's where Newton is. That's how far he's got to get just to get his lap back. So the question at hand was what, Baron?
Do they have enough fuel to make it?
Well, I mean, who knows, right? We got 10 more laps to find out. I mean, they've got to make it to lap 60. So, I mean, I got to say yes because nobody's pitted. If you haven't pitted yet and you can't make it and you know you can't make it, I will personally bring you in for a yelling session after this race.
That'd be a sternly worded letter from one Dean
Yes,
who
yes,
said
a
you do
sternly-
not want any
that's-
part of that.
That's much better. A sternly worded letter you will receive in the mail. Now, my father was known to actually send sternly worded letters to people, so don't think I won't do it.
I know you got the capability and the desire.
And the heritage.
These boys have been put on notice. It'll be an email.
I don't know what that is. Is that some newfangled thing?
Email? Yeah.
I don't know. Is it on that compute thing?
That it is. And as a silly footnote, I had a guy today tell me how proud he was that he made his kids learn how to write in cursive.
Well,
Times they are a changing.
It's a new world, but good on them in all seriousness. Let's teach our kids that, because you just don't know when that skill is going to be needed once again, folks.
Times they are a changing.
They're always changing. There's a saying that says, I don't know, there's nothing new in this
Roll
world.
with it or get rolled over.
Yeah, got a little stuck on my sayings there, but it's basically nothing new under the sun, right? So these things all come and they all go. Old things return, new things become old things. Yeah, cursive writing, love it.
Can we bring back thigh highs?
Absolutely. Before you pass from this world, thigh highs will be back.
Thank goodness.
Minis? Are you looking for minis?
Mini what?
Skirts?
I love thigh highs.
Adam Newton out here leading lap 55, 120. Pits are about 5 laps away. It's clear they're all going to go to 60 laps. So Otto Viani left out on an island here with a 2-stop strategy. I liked the call when I seen it, but that was based off not everybody can make it. Looks like everybody can. He's in a world of hurt here, but let's get back up on our blimp and see where Newton is. There's Newton. There's Otto Viani, so he's got a ways to go just to get his lap back. I mean, when Newton pits, he'll be the leader, and that'll be it's interesting. Baron, he'll lead for about 20 laps before he has to pit. And then, I mean, if a caution comes out, here we go.
Yeah, the gap closing drastically, but here in a few laps, Adam Newton's going to get tires. That's going to be a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, this is all Newton. He is putting on a show here tonight.
Which one of the drivers do you think would look best in thigh highs, Dean?
Oof. That's a tough call right there. What a question. I mean, I got no answer for you there. I just can't. I can't do it to anybody. And here we go. Person on lap 57. Baron, here comes Claus Williams. I'm going to lose my mind. They have letters coming in the mail.
The sternly worded letters in the mail.
Like, don't forget, we had a caution, so even lap 60 is not halfway for these guys. You're looking at 61, 62. There's no way they can make it. What in tarnation is going on?
Well, maybe they can make it, Dean.
They cannot make it unless, I guess you could think they're short pitting here, but I just think I know them better than that. I could be wrong. So there you go. There goes Claus Williams. Honda's in. Person's in. Newton's still rocking, of course. He pitted, so he is going to be good to go. I mean, he is in total control of this race. Now, the big thing is that Person beat out Otto Viani. So did Claus Williams. So that is hard to believe. Otto Viani must have made some kind of mistakes here. Well, Williams struggling right now on new tires. So he's going to have to wait a couple laps for them to get up to temp. Well, they're starting to show their muscle already as he comes underneath here. So he's pinned in behind Jackson and Otto Viani, and he's looking racy. And this is where something could go on.
Yeah,
Ratliff comes in, lap 60. Jason Jackson, again, if they're empty on fuel, this is not going to be enough, folks. We had a caution early that extended their fuel load a little bit. Mauer's in. We'll see where this plays out. Late in this race, I think we're going to see some clutching and grabbing for gas.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is scheduled, Dean. I don't know why, but I think it's scheduled.
Well, it may be, and maybe Bernie had learned a little something from the past and said, you know what, I want to short pit a little bit coming in on lap 58. If that's the case, he'll get a word of congratulations to me because I love that call. I know you do. The short pit is your best friend.
I am a fan. I prefer to come in, let them chase me. We'll see how it plays out here. Bernie would be the one.
So Bernie down the bottom, trying to work underneath race leader Adam Newton. He'll do that, no problem. But, you know, surprisingly, there's not a huge gap on these tires. There is a gap, but, it's only about just over a second, Baron.
So, Persons unlaps himself here. That's I think it's a good call here, Dean, but call me crazy.
You're crazy.
I'm crazy.
So I don't know if
crazy
Bruce
like a Krispy Kreme donut.
Yeah, Bruce still hasn't pitted. Let's hop on board with Bruce here and see if we catch him coming in. And we will. So lap 64. Now this is appropriate pit stop in my opinion with that caution. This is about when you want to come in for fuel mileage ways. But it doesn't look like, I think you're correct when you say fuel isn't the concern. We just have guys on different strategies. And if that's the case, I love it.
Yeah, nothing extravagant here, nothing special about that pit entry or that pit stop. He does it, it's consistent, it's fast, and it's non-eventful. You want that out of every pit stop.
Yes, absolutely. So Newton leading, Dibble now in second. Abear hits pit road. He'll relinquish third. That puts Spear into fourth. So Jason Spear is still up here. Ledford in fifth. And then Person, who is way back, but he will be the leader. And Newton is coming in.
So we gambled on the 5 laps he got out of pitting. Here we go. Fresh tires, full fuel. Let's see where he plays out.
Yeah, I mean, fuel not a concern for the 2 machine. There's no doubt about that. He's just got to get it all in the tank, and he'll be great. Dibble assumes the lead here. And back to my hunger pains.
Nobody fed you today.
Chicken McNugget. Are we a fan or no?
Chicken nuggets? I like chicken nuggets, but I prefer a McGriddle.
Not sure.
Which is folded egg with bacon and maple syrup infused buns.
You're just trying to dig into my Canadian roots here with the maple syrup now. That's not fair.
With cheese.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good. I'm a little concerned about your breakfast eating habits, though.
Why would you be concerned about that? That is absolutely wonderful. Dane, that's un-American. You're not American.
I'm not American, so I can get away with it. Jason Spear, your new race leader. Now, this is not the race Jason was hoping for. He had a couple of problems here early on. One, when Lester took that tumble, and an awful tumble it was. Ledford comes in, by the way. And then also a secondary one where Lester, again, wrecked in front of him. He tried to adjust, and the car broke loose, and he lost a lot of track position. So Spear trying to, really at this point, I think he's going to run it dry. And he's hoping for a caution in a big, big way here. Person has caught up to him. So Person going to come up here and reassume the lead. The 83 is going to come on pit road.
Yep, time to get that fuel.
He held out as long as he could and nothing doing. So Bernie out in front again. Then you got Williams in second. Ratliff's moved into third. Newton, with that late stop, has fallen now back to fourth. But remember, he come from 12th to 1st. This should not be a concern for the 2 machine. I mean, if he just runs his race, he should get up here, not only get these guys, but get them by a big margin, Baron.
Well, that's his plan anyways, isn't it?
That's plan A. You don't want to get to plan B and C.
What are plans B and C?
There's a lot of yelling, begging, cursing. You know, it's not good. Those aren't the good plans.
Does it involve the ape?
Well, it could be yelling at him. Could be trying to hit him, perhaps. I don't know, but none of the plans are viable.
That's the second curveball I've thrown you tonight. So sorry.
Maurer going by Ottaviani. So Ottaviani's 2-stopper just not working out for him. He is back in 9th position here. I don't think he's agreeing with this track, and it's a tough track, Baron.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely a beast, and again, I know you say this all the time, Dean, and it's absolutely true. If you're going to follow the leader, you're just going to follow the leader. I like what he did. I like his thought process. I just didn't think it was going to work out for him. These are the guys too adept at getting on and off pit road without incident, managing the tires for the longer run. I just don't think the gap could be made up.
Yeah, I mean, you called it, and you're absolutely correct. And I think once I noticed that the gap between best and their last lap, it's not that far off when you're late in a run. You're talking about 1.2, 1.4 seconds. Generally speaking, if a 2-stopper is going to beat a 1-stopper, it's almost impossible to do anywhere. It's usually 3 stops to 2 stops works a little better. But even then, you want that gap to be about 2 seconds on your tire wear, your lap times over an entire run. And you want it to be a very consistent drop-off, Baron. You don't want to see that leveling of the tires we often see.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So back up front, Bernie, let's hop on board, see what we see from our race leader here, Baron.
Really drives that truck in deep, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. That's kind of how I drive this place, right? You come in in this corner, first line, second line is where you want to enter. It's going to enter much higher, of course, but you're going to cut it down and then float it up a bit. Really not driving how I would drive this track. That doesn't mean it's wrong. He's leading this race. I probably wouldn't be. But generally, there's a diamonding effect around here, Baron.
Well, and truthfully, it's a great track to test your skill as a driver. And test your skill as a crew chief, because maybe sometimes you got to pull that leash a little bit on that driver and make sure he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing is you got to. This is a type of track where you got to adapt, right? So I'm not in this truck. I don't know the conditions. It's very hot. Let's look in on our weather actually. So 101. It's cooled off significantly. It was up in the 120s in practice. Still a hot track. And you got to be able to adjust. There's certain lines here that just won't work in some conditions, Baron.
No, it certainly won't. And they're going to still try it, Dean, because, again, put it where they ain't. But, yeah, I love that entry from Bernard. It's working. Although he's got, got a little company showing up here.
Well, it's got Jason Spears blinking right in front of Adam Newton, who's already moved up to second place. So Newton, not to be deterred tonight. He is looking dominant. He pitted about 8 laps after Bernard Persson. He's going to get through here. Now with Spear making a move, he's going to have to be patient here. Bide his time. There's no hurry. So don't do anything stupid. And I feel like I'm trying to talk in his ear here, Baron.
Well, as a crew chief, Dean, you could probably bet that he's listening through that osmosis that you crew chiefs have that get right through. Start talking to him like a ghost.
Oh, and I wouldn't call that stupid, but that is close racing, folks. This is tough racing. Side-by-side action, an inch away from each other. Oh. So he's going to get by. Bernie give up a good fight there. He'll slide into second. Here comes Ratliff now. So Ratliff probably going to take this spot at some point as well. I don't think Ratliff has anything for Newton, though. Newton's already got by him.
Well, just a dominant effect here that the two machine is putting on again. Dean, you know, we called it and we thought maybe it was a mistake for him to take the fuel. Proved us wrong.
Well, I think what he knew what we didn't know, that he is so good and so dominant, he could, you know, overcome that track position deficit, right? So he did that. That was the key. And now he's got no fuel concerns whatsoever, and he's got clean sailing. There's not much that can stop him here, except for a huge mistake or perhaps someone else's huge mistake.
Well, and here he's going to catch teammate Jason Spear here shortly. So I hate to see it for Jason, but that's how dominant the two is.
Yeah, it's just been wild to watch here. Newton's been getting so good. He's our points leader, and he's trying to put an exclamation point on this. You know, there's not so much of a points race this season, with Bernie kind of being out of it after missing a race, and others just not in it. Newton's been dominant. He wants to put his finger stamp on this and just say, listen, I'm the man, and I am not coasting to anything. I'm going for victories here.
About to get one, and saw up this championship.
Eric Whiting comes off of pit road here. Yeah, only one race remaining, so the Bulldog taking this two machine once again, looking for another victory. Ratliff will have something to say about it, though. Always there, always ready to pounce on any mistake you make. Bernie's sliding back a little bit. Claus Williams making a late charge. Oh, behind him.
Woo!
Not sure who that is.
Good catch. Drive on, driver.
I think that's Ledford, perhaps. Yeah, James Ledford there. No, not Ledford. Searching high and low to find out who that was. Might have been Lester. I don't know.
It's a hell of a catch.
How about Bruce back there, up 4 spots. He's in the top 5 again. For a guy who really, he doesn't like this track, it doesn't suit him, you know, or just can't, you know, some tracks, Baron, they don't agree with you. Top 5, you take that and go home, won't you?
Yeah, if I were Darren Bruce, I'd call this a win. You know, if he doesn't like the track and top 5 finish, I would take that all day.
Absolutely. Jason Jackson, he's had an interesting night, you know, running up front, starting towards the front, fading a little bit, but it's really stabilized his position here. He's done a nice job sitting in 6th.
Yeah, it's a good job, good run. Jason, you know, down 3 spots, had a great qualifying effort tonight, but like you said, Dean, some tracks are better for some.
Yeah, and that was Lester that got loose. You see the 78 behind Maurer here. So Lester definitely not agreeing with this track here tonight.
Yeah, good run there by Lester. Even still, he's on the lead lap. Oh no, he's not. I take it back. I forgot he got involved in that.
Yeah, I mean, he tumbled that thing. That car looks remarkably well for something that tumbled about 14 times, Baron. That's some good crew work right there.
Sure was.
I mean, they're hammers. Just hammered that thing out beautifully. No dents, nothing.
Pretty truck.
The Fox on there. I don't know if that's
What does
his
the Fox say,
personal
Dean?
logo, or is he the Silver Fox, perhaps?
What's the Fox say?
What's the Fox saying? I don't know, Baron.
You don't remember that song?
Oh, I thought we were headed into joke time.
Yeah, what kind of?
I don't know.
Adam Newton putting on a clinic here. 7 seconds back to Radcliffe. My goodness.
And you see up ahead of him a little danger. Danger, Will Robinson.
Lost in space. Love it.
There you go. You know, us old hats in here. You might have to Google some of this stuff, some of you youngsters.
They made a remake. It was a good show.
It's okay. I've seen a little bit of it. I mean, I'm partial to the old stuff, but if you, on a one-to-one basis, I don't think the old stuff can compete with the new stuff. But, you know, you like what you like from when you grew up.
Sure. But I've always got room for change in my life.
Baron, you got another new girlfriend?
No. Oh, no. Old Ball and Chain and I are doing fine.
Oh, boy. Well, if you're listening out there, Mrs. Barron, Ball and Chain, he doesn't mean that.
Well, the good news is we live in separate domiciles, so I can sleep on my couch if I want to.
My hero, Barron. I love it. It's one way to keep the peace.
That's right.
Lester's come in again, so Lester says, you know what, I'll take some fresh rubber. Why not? It's best to have fresh rubber, isn't it, Baron?
Yes, agreed. For Mr. Feelgoods, send it back out. See how she drives.
So, you know, it's got the Sunday afternoon of the old days feel to it, like, Baron. But, you know, when you get lulled to sleep on these tracks and these events, you know what usually happens, don't you?
Calamity.
That's right. Ruckus. Something can and will happen.
Pandemonium, Larry.
It's Murphy's Law.
Murphy a woman or a man?
Nobody knows, Baron.
Nah, I believe
That's
it's a
part
woman.
of the interesting part of the law. You don't know what perspective to take it from.
I think it was a woman.
Darren Bruce.
Nope.
Oh, Darren Bruce blinked out. I thought he hit pit road, but no.
He's back.
He's just blinking around.
He's back.
Little thunderbolt of lightning. Very, very frightening. Do you know what that's from, Bear?
That's a song, isn't it?
That's right. Anybody out in the chat know what song that is from?
Is that Queen? Is it Queen?
It is not Queen.
Damn it.
It is not a group that anybody will ever remember, including myself, but I do remember the name of the song.
It was Bohemian Rhapsody.
No!
Thunderbolt of lightning, very, very frightening me. Ha! Galileo.
Oh, maybe it was. Did
Nailed
I
it.
outscrew myself?
You did.
Well, the song I was thinking of, and you're absolutely right, I got the lyrics confused, but I was thinking of the old Ballroom Blitz.
Oh, yes. Can't remember the name of the artist on that one.
I don't think anybody knows the name of that artist.
I used to, because we used to play to the strip club all the time.
Baron channeling up the strip club, folks. Claus Williams in second. You got Ratliff in third. So how about Claus Williams? Up 6 spots. I mean, bit of a slow start tonight.
That's
And,
Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones.
Oh, it's the Ramones. There you go.
Yeah.
But Claus out here, I mean, what a great race for him.
Yeah, really good race. Found himself in second place here, Dean. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, just patiently, methodically, and it's gotten better and better as the night goes along. Now, he is running faster than Newton. So, 24 to go. Has Murphy stuck his head out here?
Well, and we saw him dominate at Milwaukee. It's a similar kind of track. It doesn't have a lot of the same characteristics, but that flat sweeping turn, that's Claus Williams' turn.
Yeah, that's a great thought there. That old Milwaukee, and that was another He Hut sponsored race. Of course, we'll bring that up again. The He Hut. Well, it's backwards down there. We'll leave that off. But go check out the He Hut over on Facebook. Scott Olson there does a lot of great model work and stuff. For some of us old hats, brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah, it sure does. I used to love model building, and now I don't do it anymore. I
Oh,
suppose when I retire, I'll get back to it.
there's some great stuff over there. I mean, I just love the imagination, you know. Got a little garage, got the lift in there and everything. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool stuff.
Bernie, he's fallen back to 4th now. And there's Bruce. Bruce in the top 5. And he's thinking about taking away 4th from Bernard Person here.
Bernie falling off wrong time of the race here, huh?
Well, I think what you see with Bernie is sometimes is that, you know, the disappointment of not winning. It's not that he gives up. It's not that he's, you know, done with the race per se. But some of the edge might, you know, some of the air gets let out of his wings, so to speak.
Well, and, you know, he hadn't been feeling well either, so Lord knows if he's playing hurt tonight.
Well, rest assured, Bernie's always playing hurt. I mean, on the best of days, he always says, I'm playing with one eye and one arm, so, you know, there's that too. Right on board with Darren Bruce here, trying to chase down Bernard Person. Little wiggle, just trying to show Baron a little something.
First of all, wiggle.
You know, back into my memory catalog, I watched little Tom Jones the other night, and Tom says, you know what you got to do? You just got to stand there and just wiggle it a little bit.
There you go. You're a fan of the helicopter, aren't you, Dean?
Absolutely. What's the
19
what's
to go.
the one famous line dance I was coaxed into? Is that the Charleston?
Oh, I don't know, Dean. Yeah, you're going way back on me now. Charleston?
I don't know. I don't remember now.
I think my mom and dad did that dance.
Well, a beautiful woman convinced me to get out there on a line dance situation one time. And, well, I just couldn't refuse, Baron. But
Did you
unfortunately,
Macarena?
I also could not do the line dance, so it was quite entertaining for other people.
Did you Macarena?
No, I'm not much of a duck quacker.
Did you
Here we go.
cha-cha
Bruce making
slide?
a move. Oh, and Bernie gonna let him go. Darren Bruce making the move. Big dive there. Actually, Bernie not letting him go. That was just a dive bomb with some heavy braking. Wow.
Look at Bernie fight back on the outside. Task completed, but Bernie not giving him a second chance there. Just go ahead and try to take it from me, boss.
And poor Scott Olson, who's watching, he wrecked earlier in the race. I can't really remember what happened there. But, you know, Scott not doing too well with the old eyeball right now. So the He Hut's, you know, it's getting, it's on a layoff right now, Baron.
Well, you gotta be in healthy conditions. You gotta do things the right way. Take care of your body.
Well, if you know,
because it'll take care of you.
If you ever done any of that finer, smaller modeling, you know, you got magnifying glasses and tweezers and all that. It's quite the operation.
Yeah, it sure is. I'm not that talented. I imagine Scott is.
Scott is, yep, for sure. Me neither, though, Baron. I'm more of a slap them together and can't figure out why they won't fit, so you just smash them harder, don't you?
I wrench on the real ones, and that doesn't it doesn't take quite as much fine tuning.
Here we go. Greg Ratliff starting to make noise here. He's got up to Klaus Williams. Probably been here for quite some time, but this is a big battle here for second possession.
Klaus got around him. Looks like he's backing back up to him again.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this out of different cars, the ebb and flows of this track. And the only guy who's not, he's both ebbing and flowing, and that's Newton. Newton out here now to a 4.5 second lead. He's caught up to Jason Spear. He's in no rush to make any moves on Spear with this lead.
Well, with 14 to go, it doesn't appear like they're getting any closer.
Now
Not a lot of threat.
I mean, a little bit here while Newton rides around behind Spear. I mean, they may have made up a tenth or two, but 13 laps to go. You're going to have to pull off about a half second a lap here, Baron.
Yeah, it's a pretty healthy lead he's got, and doesn't really need to get around the lap truck of Jason Spear.
Nice full crowd out here. Beautiful shot of the track there.
Yep, New Englanders support their racing, that's for sure.
Now, I've probably told this before, but I was at this track, Baron, for a race, and Jimmy Johnson won that race. I think he lapped the whole field. And the only entertaining thing that really happened at that during the race, because you know, at the event, a little bit of camping, a little drinking, there's other entertaining stories. But on the track is one guy pulled out with the jack still under the car, did an entire lap with the jack under the car, and drove back in and got that thing removed.
How about that? Jimmy Johnson used to be dominant back in the day. I hate it for him now. He gets in that car and he's a lap or two down, no matter where he's at. It's just so sad.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jimmy's a good driver. Can't take nothing from him, but he had dominant equipment during that time.
Yeah, but 7 championships is 7 championships, you know.
It is. You just can't take that away from a guy. You can try to say that it's not equal to someone else's 7. That's fine, whatever. But, you know, he's a hell of a driver. But, you know, you come back, you take a layoff, you come back to these new machines that they're just a different animal.
Yeah, I hate it for him. Love to see our superstars be superstars, and, you know, seeing him go a lap down, you know, like Charlotte, where he used to just dominate, you know. Hard to see.
Yeah, it's hard to watch him race Indy too. I think he should take up golfing.
Right, needs to be an analyst.
I mean, on the other side of it though, Baron, I mean, if I could go around and race a lap down, I would gladly do it.
Well, that's his theory.
You know, I don't have 7 championships though to rest on.
No, me either.
So you see Ratliff taking a different line, and Williams going that low and diamond it. And look at that diamond. Oh no, Williams is in! Williams has come on to pit road. Not enough gas. Oh, the heartache.
Wow.
Claus Williams relinquishes this spot, and he is going to fall dramatically. What a shame.
Well, and that begs the question, can the rest of them make it?
Well, we did talk a little bit about this, and I thought it would be a problem for some of these guys as they didn't seem to calculate, you know, the caution laps that we were under early. If you came in on lap 60, you're going to be in trouble. Let's have a look here and see who did just that. So Person came in 57. He's got to be the first guy we're looking at here. Person's going to be in trouble. There's no doubt about it. If fuel's a concern, I mean, I can't understand unless Claus just short fueled himself by mistake, which I've done.
What a tragedy here. I thought Claus was going to be a contender.
Yeah, that is a real tragedy. Really unfortunate here. Bernie is fading here, so he just let Maurer go by. I think he's milking the tank, and I think it's going to be to no avail, and he'll have to come in anyway. We'll see.
Fuel save mode now.
Now, Baron, my ex-crew chief, I got to interrupt this race broadcast to talk about my own race for a minute, Baron. I won stage 1 and I won stage 2 this week, and when I came out of the pits, I only had 10 gallons of fuel, and the car would not turn.
Oh, no.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Little lesson to me. Make sure you get that gas correct.
Yeah, I hate it for you, man. That's terrible.
Yeah, if there wasn't bad news, there wouldn't be any news, Baron.
Yeah, you hate to do it to yourself.
Well, when you're around, I could blame you.
Easy. I got big shoulders.
So 4 to go. How about the Bulldog? Out here dominating. I mean, it's been impressive, Baron. I mean, he has just literally not only walked away, but drove through the field to do it as well.
Yet another great effort here by Adam Newton. And this is just another one to reflect on how he's won this championship this year. He has minimized his mistakes and capitalized on his opportunity. Here he is doing it again.
Yeah. I mean, and you said it. I mean, it's kind of been his nemesis, right? Whether it's, getting involved in things that aren't of his doing or a little mistake here or there. But in this series, this season, he just limited those, and you just see what a talent he is when he doesn't have any of those. Here, dominating tonight. I mean, a 4-second lead over Greg Ratliff in second. You got another 4 back to Darren Bruce, who's now your 3rd place driver. How about that? And Jason Jackson, who's really persevered, has moved into 4th. Maurer into the top 5. So all these guys, great job here tonight.
Amazing job. And these guys who we were talking about saying we had, kind of a struggle night, top 5 finishes.
Great job. Doesn't look like anybody else going to run out of fuel, at least yet. So not sure what that Claus Williams pit was, the reason behind it. But we're coming down to 1 to go. Williams has got Bear in front of him. That's about the only spot he's going to get back. That'd be for 7th. Up front, all the Bulldog.
Love it for Adam. Great race tonight. Solid effort. 4 seconds back to 2nd place. 9 cars on the lead lap. This is a dominating effort.
Shades of Jimmy Johnson when I was at the track. Out here dominating the field. The 2 will come home victorious in the ACS Hut 120. Greg Ratliff come off of 4. He'll grab 2nd. There's Bruce. There's Jackson. Maurer coming through. Person will limp her home into 6th. You got Bear. Looks like he will come home in 7th. Dibble at 8th. Claus. I'm not sure if Claus was a lap down. I'm not sure what's going on with Claus. He might be letting everybody pass him. I don't know why. Maybe he's helping out a friend. I'm not sure what's going on with Claus, but there comes Spear on through. So very interesting stuff there.
Hard telling what was in his head.
I don't know what's going on with Claus here tonight. Couple of unexpected moves there. One at the end, he gave up at least. Well, I mean, I don't know if he gave up. I think he gave up 1 spot. Very interesting. Might have missed something, man. We often do. But we're not missing this burnout. Nice tight circle there from the 2 machine. He's going to try and walk it down a bit. He'll spin her the other way. Great job by Mr. Newton. Right now, let's go to a commercial break. We'll come back and we'll get some race interviews. Little look at the new street stocks there, Baron. We'll have to get out there and bang around on those one of these nights.
Yeah, absolutely. Cut my teeth on those back in the day. I'm really shocked they weren't in this sim long before this.
Well, they had street stocks, right? But not those particular ones. If you take some close-up looks at those, he did a great job with them, too. Got some dents in them and some old-looking sheet metal. Real good look.
Looks like a hobby stock's dream right there. Banging it with a piece of wood and a hammer.
That's it. That's it, exactly. There we go. There's your race results. We went through the top 5. You got Person in 6th, Bear 7th, Dibble in 8th, Claus Williams, yeah, he falls to ninth. Not sure what happened there. Spear will be in 10th. Otto Viani's two-stopper does not work out. Musial, Ledford, Whiting, Hund, Lester, who did the petty flip there, basically. He'll finish 16th. And Olson here, well, he sponsored the race, so in that regard, we're going to give him a thumbs up, Baron.
Thumbs up and 2 high fives.
Absolutely. So let's get into some race interviews here. We're going to bring in our third place finisher. That is Mr. Darren Bruce. Darren, a hard fought third there. Very patient, solid run.
Yes, sir, man. I'm grinning from ear to ear. This ain't one of my tracks. The top three here, just like a win.
Yeah, well, we talked a little bit about it, Darren, here in the booth. You know, you're not really agreeing with this track, but it looked to me like you found something on the low line there. Tell us a little bit about that.
The patient part that you said was the key there. I just started being patient. I knew I wasn't going to outrun anybody. I just tried to, be patient, stick to the bottom, save my tires, and pitting there on that first caution after 5 laps, that made a big deal too.
Yeah, well, tell us what did you do on that? Did you take tires on that stop? Because we seen Newton come in and pit then. He took no tires, fuel only. And what was the reason? Was it a fuel concern out there?
Yeah, when I finished the race there, I had 0.1 gallons left. And even though I took the extra fuel, I still had to save for probably 30 laps there at the end to make it to the end.
Well, my goodness, I kind of thought that, and then I went back on it because it looked like everybody was going to make it. But very interesting there. A lot of fuel saving here tonight. That pit stop, you still had to save 30 laps. What lap did you pit on, Darren?
I was trying to make it to 65, but Klaus caught me, and I thought, well, he's shifting, so I started shifting too on the first run, and that burnt some of my fuel, so I could only make it to 67 to go, or 57 to go. I was trying to make it to 55 to go. And that few laps I ran trying to shift there, cut that down. If I could have made it to 55 to go, I wouldn't have had to save any at all.
Well, it definitely changes my perspective on what we thought of some of the guys and whether they were fading or coming. Apparently, a lot of fuel mileage out here. But let's get back to you, Darren. Place you don't like, it's near the end of the season, but did you learn something here at this track that maybe can carry you to further races here at New Hampshire?
Did, like I said, the patient part, trying to not charge the corners, go in easier to where I can get on the gas sooner instead of later. I think I learned a little bit on this one. Maybe it'll help me out on some of these other flat tracks that I don't agree with.
Well, we talk about practicing and learning all the time. Someone who never stops is you, and really any good race car driver. You're always going to learn. You're always going to adapt. Look like you did that tonight. Congrats on grabbing this third place, man. And we'll see you next week at the finale. Can't wait to get that one going. But you got anybody you want to thank, Darren? You go right ahead.
Oh yeah, we want to thank the One Church and I don't have it wrote down. Affordable Construction Services. I want to thank those guys. I want to thank my Spear teammates. Congrats to Adam for getting the win there. We're hoping he can bring that championship trophy to the Spear Garage. And I always want to thank my wife for letting me do this. And I always want to say hey to my grandkids. They like to watch these things, and they're coming to see me here in a week or so. So we're excited about that.
Awesome stuff, Darren. Congrats on third again. And enjoy your grandkids when they come. Baron, that was Darren Bruce, a hard-fought third place finish.
Yeah, Grandpa brings it back there in third. A proud Grandpa there in Darren Bruce. And it's nice to see him start to get his arms wrapped around a very difficult track. And speaking of a guy who's got his arms wrapped around it, Greg Ratliff here with me in the number 5. Second place finish tonight, Greg. We meet again, huh, buddy?
Heck yeah, man. I'm happy with it.
Well, why wouldn't you be? You're second place here to Adam Newton, who's poised to be the points champions, won several races this year. Greg, week in and week out, you're just the model of consistency. Is that practice or is that just dumb luck?
Oh, it's a lot of practice for sure.
How long do you average practicing before a race? Just ballpark. I don't want you to give away all your race secrets, but how long you think you put in?
Well, for example, last night I probably put about 150 laps in here.
That's a solid amount, considering the race was 160. So, yeah, it translates very well to a second place finish. You a McDonald's fan? Do you like the breakfast or the lunch better?
I would say probably like a breakfast better.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way. And Dean was chastising me on the broadcast. Dean was telling me
Listen,
I was
burritos
crazy.
for breakfast is not allowed, people.
I agree. I disagree. Well, Greg, what do you got to thank for your second place finish tonight?
I just thank all my teammates and RGR League, and then thank Affordable Construction Specialists for sponsors and a live church. And yeah, Todd and Gillen. I think all the drivers as part of the league, I appreciate all of them taking time out and just, sometimes time away from their families to spend a little time with us in here racing and having a good time.
Well, Dean, that is your second place finisher, driver of the number 5 truck, Mr. Greg Ratliff.
Yeah, and what a race he had. I mean, a good, solid performance. But I got the number 2, the Bulldog, down in victory lane. What a night! Putting a cap, not quite a cap on the season yet, but maybe a cap on this championship. Congrats, Newton.
Yeah, thank you. I hope I finished it off tonight. I'm not sure, but it was a darn good performance for sure.
Well, it really was, and it started by getting out there, right? You hit the pole, you lead, only 5 laps. We got a caution now. You relinquish the lead and come in. Shocked us up in the booth, but you had a plan. Tell us about it.
It was kind of weird when I was behind Bernie. I came off the corner and it's I felt like I hit something, and so I told the guys, I was like, man, I got to come down pit road. I think I got damage. And so I go into pit road and I didn't have any damage on the thing, but the iRacing kept saying, well, we can't repair your car, that thing it says. And I was like, well, since it's not showing nothing, let's throw some fuel on it because it was showing a little bit short, and let's play this game.
Well, that's interesting. So the gods brought you down pit road and filled your tank up for you, and it come in handy, didn't it, Adam?
Oh man, did it ever? Because not only did it help the balance of the truck just from those 6 laps, it allowed me to run them down and pass them, take the lead, and play some fuel strategy back on them. And I know Baron was probably going short pit, but I was like, nope, not tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, you didn't do it. You didn't have to do it. I mean, you had to know when you came through that field that it was a little more than just fuel. That's some talent there behind the wheel, Adam. You've been displaying it all year. You grabbed the victory. I mean, there's not much to say about it. I mean, the key I always say to a place like this is to never get loose. And I don't remember seeing you get loose tonight, Adam.
No, and I kept, believe it or not, I kept telling myself, I was like, got to do what Dean said. Stay neutral. Let your car come in. Don't slide your tires. And I did that. Didn't overdrive the car. I mean the truck any, and it just took care of itself.
Well, they're like a woman, Adam. I mean, if you make them angry, they may never come back.
Oh, it depends on what kind of woman it is.
that's a fact right there, Adam Newton with another beauty. Well, Adam, I mean, it was a great performance. It's been a great season watching you. I expect you to get up there and try and get that last one too. No sandbagging in the last one. Let's put on a performance, close this thing out. But congrats on this victory, a dominating performance, and we'll give you the floor, my friend.
Yeah, I want to thank Scott for my paint job, and first and foremost, I want to say good job to Braxton. He got out and about. Um, he's been through some rough times. He got to go outside. I was looking at the Facebook. Good job. Continue fighting. Thank you to Bernie's been through his struggles and stuff. All our team actually has. Thank all the spear guys, and thank you for our confidence, Dean, and thank you for keeping everything jolly and funny, Baron. And thank the RGR guys and the ACS Construction and the church coming on board. That's very important for y'all to see our races. And thank all the admins at RGR and Todd Dote in California. Have a fun trip.
Don't forget Mama June. She'll be
Mama
mad
June's.
at you.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. My finger slipped off the button. Yeah, I think Mama Jeans, I was not going to forget it.
You don't want Mama pissed at you now.
Oh, she will call
Oh,
him.
no.
Anyway, Adam,
No,
congrats.
she watches, and she thinks you have a very nice voice, Dean.
Oh, well, that makes me feel so nice. I mean, I love Mama June and the whole company, and, just very thankful for them. Anyway, congrats, Baron. Adam Newton, once again, gets into victory lane, and he does it in dominating fashion.
Yes, he does, and that's a championship run in a big way. And we're happy to see Adam get his win tonight and solidify that points championship, Dean. A long, hard-fought season with great results.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has been. Of course, we'll wrap it up next week. That's going to be at Michigan. I can't wait to get that one going. I hope you'll all join us. We have the coverage, not on Sundays. We're on the wrong one here, but definitely we have the coverage on Thursday nights for this truck series, and it'll be at 9:05 to 9:10 p.m. I hope you'll come and join us. But from here at New Hampshire, that'll wrap it up. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Baron Labosco, and we'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.